15 years ago, I started a challenge in Pokemon White where I took an Electabuzz from Soul Silver, brought it over, and bred it. The challenge was to take this Elekid egg and film the entire process of bringing it from an egg to level 100. Over 80 plus episodes, all that have had their audio removed sadly, I took this Pokemon and fought everything. Using an old digital camera propped up on a stack of coasters, I found a shiny male Combi, beat the Elite Four, and finally hit level 100 against a Stunfisk I had fished up in a river. I decided that challenge shouldn't be over yet though, and I remembered that Abra could learn Thunder Punch, a move I had been using with Electabuzz, so I bred my level 100 with an Abra to bring in the next generation of the challenge, and took it upon myself to get this Abra with Thunder Punch all the way to level 100 as well, and I did. An Alakazam with Thunder Punch at level 100, beating the Pokemon League and soaring through the game. Again, I didn't feel like the challenge was over, so I looked into who could learn any of Alakazam's moves, preferably Thunder Punch, and decided to bring Recover over to Sableye. I took the Sableye with Recover through the game, soloing the Elite Four and contracting the Pokevirus. The thing was a powerhouse, and the Pokerus helped me get to level 100 with ease. I still have the Houndoom I was using to help early leveling on these Pokemon. It's in Pokemon Home, still with the Pokerus. On the 86th episode of Electabuzz Leveling, I revealed that I would be doing a 4th generation, but I didn't say which Pokemon. And honestly, after all this time, I have forgotten. I went through all 200 Pokemon in Home that I have from this save file, and the only clue I have is a level 6 female Baneri with Pokerus that was hatched in Icarus City, the same place Electabuzz, Alakazam, and Sableye were hatched. But I sadly cannot do this with a female Pokemon, or else it can't change species over generations. So I thought I'd have to restart this challenge and continue on Electabuzz's Bloodline through a new Pokemon, bred from the same Sableye from my old series. All 3 of these Pokemon are actually from 2012-2013 and I still have them. But I can't start all of this again on an episode 87 of a series basically nobody watched from almost 20 years ago. So I'm doing a sequel series of it, called Electabuzz Leveling, The Bloodline. And you're already watching episode 1.
I wanted to start this in Pokemon Violet, but with how the moves changed in Gen 9, I was going to lose half the moves on Electabuzz and Sableye, so I took them to Sword. Plus, I wanted to bring Alakazam over for a quick little video, and he's not in Gen 9. At first, I did think I would have to drop transferring egg moves from one generation to another in the Electabuzz Bloodline, but I felt wrong. I hatched a Ralts with no moves from its father Sableye, and I tried to start this 4th generation of Electabuzz this way. I brought Ralts over to Violet immediately, which was my second mistake, mainly because I wanted to auto-battle with it and have it follow me around. I chose Ralts because this line adds a secondary egg group to the pot, allowing me to branch to many more Pokemon than just the human-like egg group that Electabuzz started with. But everything felt off. Not wrong, but I felt frustrated. I took Ralts down many routes from the beginning of the game and fought trainers I had passed by on my original playthrough, because I had recently traded in my Switch for a Switch 2 and I had to restart both Sword and Violet. And because I've had more time on Violet more recently, I chose that, but I still rushed through the beginning of the game. Ralts struggled early on, needing to be healed almost literally every single battle he had, so I eventually enlisted Rotom Fridge to help him out. The 3 of us soared through battles afterwards, and this didn't feel all that wrong because Electabuzz, Alakazam, and Sableye had all had help from a Houndour in Pokemon White. Ralts finally hit level 20 and evolved into Kirlia, but even with the evolution, he wasn't holding his own at all. Rotom was doing a lot of the heavy lifting, so I gave Kirlia a lucky egg to try and boost him up faster until he was strong enough to eventually evolve into Gardevoir. But because his line is male, I decided to use a Dawnstone and evolve him into Elekid instead, because now he would have access to a lot of coverage moves and strong physical attacks. And I also had changed Rotom to Rotom Fan because Blizzard was a little bit inconsistent. Elekid was much quicker in auto battles and really started to shine with its access to better moves like Leaf Blade, Night Slash, and Sacred Sword. I also changed his nature with a Mint to give him a physical boost, and we soared to level 50 where I eventually hyper-trained him to make him even stronger. But this whole experience left me with a bad taste in my mouth. Don't get me wrong, I like Elekid, and I thought I'd be happy reliving this challenge and picking up where I left off over a decade ago, but without a move from the father, I don't know, it felt wrong. So I went back to the drawing board and eventually I swapped out Foul Play on Sableye with Fake Out. Without this change, I couldn't teach any move to another descendant in Sword, that I could also keep in Violet, because they changed in Gen 9 how egg moves and stuff were inherited. I bred Sableye and Sword again, now with somebody who could keep Fake Out, and hatched a little Krogunk. This time I decided to keep Krogunk in Pokemon Sword, and I enlisted Vulpix to help him out after I lost a few battles. And I realized down the line that this kind of feels like a Brock team. Vulpix really did feel like a natural fit, because in the original I had been using a Houndour to help, and Vulpix was really able to make the necessary assists until Krogunk could hold his own with more than just Fake Out and Poison Sting. Krogunk and Vulpix went through the first routes of Sword, leveling up at any chance along the way, fighting through the wild area, and making it through a significant chunk of the game. As you could see, I was screenshotting every single level up, which is something I had been doing in the old episodes of the original Electabuzz Leveling series, when I was leveling up Abra and Sableye, so it felt really on brand to do this. And because of that, this time I felt a lot better about the process. Krogunk was constantly using Fake Out in every battle he was in, a move that he kept from his father, and honestly, the slower leveling of Gen 8 just kind of made it feel better. Made it feel like more impactful, and less like I was cheating, like in how fast you can level up in Gen 9. Eventually though, I did have to replace Vulpix with Solrock as Krogunk got stronger, because he surpassed Vulpix's level and evolved into Toxicroak. And I think that's where I'm going to end it for now. Toxicroak should be able to fight longer on his own now, and I'll be bringing him into Violet next episode to fight alongside his stronger brother Gallade, hopefully surpassing him quickly. Gallade will be shelved as a continuation of the Bloodline for now, as I continue on with Toxicroak, maybe eventually making it back to Ralts further down the line. If you're still here and like this video, throw a like at me or comment and all that lame call to action stuff. I plan on doing another episode for this to at least finish out Toxicroak's story, so stay tuned for that. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.